he's a lightning strike.
He's gonna go after Paul.
I told him I didn't want to go after Campbell. I mean, it's like following Elvis. I mean, how do you top that? But, so on behalf of my dad, Dennis, and my wife, Rhonda, and Rafi, and my sister Brenda are here, we want to thank the committee, whoever that is. For this acknowledgement of his achievements. So, I chatted with him a little bit, when we were doing this, right? Because it was like, I said, "Did you want to go?" I said, "Well," he says, "I have a casino." I said, "I don't think they do." He says, "Do they have bookies in Italy?" I said, "I don't think they do." He says, "I don't think I'll bother." But he's living a good life. He'll be 86 this year. Him and my mother getting on grand, live behind my sister's place, and life is good. So he's got quite a story to tell. And I just want to give you a little bit, some of you know it, some of you don't, but a little bit of the history and a little bit of a backstory with him. And particularly he wanted to acknowledge some of the people along the way that helped help him achieve the success that he had. Back in '74 or so, he was working for Ford in Belfast, and Frank Higgins was hired on by Powerscreen, a small engineering company out in the country. And Frank asked him to come along, and Dad worked for Frank at Ford in Belfast. He came along and worked in buying for a little bit. And after a couple of years, Pat O'Neill, who was inducted this evening also, asked him if he wanted to get into sales and go down to the south of Ireland. I guess they were having trouble collecting money from people, and he was pretty good at it. So they asked him, "Hey, why don't you go down there and see what you can do?" So he did that, and it worked out pretty good. And then between then and the late '70s, he ended up going to Australia, on and off. And then he started going to the States. And so '78, '79, he was traveling back and forth. Mom was holding down the fort with the four of us. And in '80, they asked him, "Hey, wait, we want you to go to the U.S. and set up a distribution network or help get it going." They had a kind of a loose network of dealers, but it was really fragmented. Anyway, so and this is him telling me this. This is not me. I want you to understand that, right? So I'm just trying to repeat what he told me. But he ended up setting it on Louisville and spent the next 4 years there helping building up a distribution network. Obviously, Mickey Hughes was a big part of that there. He brought Mickey over, right? And the two of them became lifelong friends. He's still one of his closest friends. They talk every week. And he just wanted to make sure that we acknowledge Mickey for what he's done for him over the years. So thanks, Mickey. In '84, he was traveling around the country setting up distributors and realized that that's where the money was in this gig, right? So in '84, he realized he didn't have a dealer in Florida. He was traveling down there a lot. So he said, "What the hell, I'm going to go become a dealer in Florida." And got that thing off the ground. It wasn't easy back then. I mean, I came to work for him in '86. He started the dealership in '84, and it was nuts. I mean, when you think about it now, I don't know how he did it. But one of the first people he hired that he wanted to acknowledge was Harry Love. And Harry came over with his wife and kids, Adnan, and the three boys, and started a life in that part of the world. And obviously, Harry, Dad always would say it was very difficult to use, our equipment or this equipment back then. It was all about sand and gravel. There's no freaking sand and gravel in Florida. So Harry was very good at adapting our equipment to work in those applications, and he helped drive the business forward in that way. And obviously, he went on to much success. We started another little engineering firm where Harry was a partner, and but he wanted to acknowledge Harry's help in getting the thing off the ground and being there for us and putting his engineering skills to work. In the moving on, the late 80s, late 80s, he was just plodding along, trying to get it going, and Shay McKeown introduced his brother Barry to Dad, sent him down for a trip down there, and said, hey, why don't you come down and check this place out? And he did. And Barry ended up staying for the next 20 plus years, was not only a great partner. He became a partner in the business, right? He earned it, but also a great confidant, a great friend, and to this day, Barry is still very involved in all parts of our business. We rely on him a lot. He does too. They talk very often, and he wanted to thank Barry for his years of support and dedication and being there for him. So. As moved on in 2012, Dad decided he wanted to transfer the business to his kids. At that point, it was myself and Rafi, and we've had much success. Rafi is, some of you know, some of you don't. I mean, he's been instrumental in driving our business on the export side and the overseas side. And Dad's like, he cannot believe that we are able to had the success that we have, but it never would have happened without Rafi's input, without his dedication. So hats off to him. He's a great brother-in-law. He looks after my parents. They live behind him. Him and my sister Brenda. I can't thank them enough, and he can't thank them enough for being there for him. So we're really lucky to have that. A few other people he wanted me to mention. I'm just going to rattle off some names, but this is going to be out there somewhere. So I want to mention some names of guys that he thought were instrumental in the success of his PowerScreen story. Because this is, if you think about it, what we're selling is not proprietary. You can go into shit anywhere, right? But it's all about the people in the business, right? And the dedication that they show. And he was very lucky to have a tremendous team around him of guys that were there, and they've been there. This list of people have been there before, way back since he got out of the business or stepped back. So my brother Sean, Jim Watterson, Big Jim, Bobby Horton, Eugene McGurr, John Muldoon, Declan McGlinchey, the Reagans, Sean and Neil. Those guys were all, and they still are, they're still there, and they talk about that all the time, and we're very grateful for that. We are, obviously, as I think Todd mentioned, we're moving into the third generation of our business, and we've got between Rafi and I, we've got 5 sons in the business, and Dad's incredibly excited about those boys carrying on the legacy that he set up. And we're excited about it. They ought to be afforded the same opportunity that we were. So we're supporting them 100%. We hope we can step back, and when I'm his age, God willing, I'll be able to look back and think the same way about it that he does. Okay, finally, none of this happens without his wife, Mary. She's been unbelievable. I mean, they're actually celebrating their 60th wedding anniversary next week. And we're incredibly grateful to have both of them around, but particularly my mom. When you think about it, I tell you this story about my father traveling all over the world, about being gone all the time. She raised 4, spent a huge amount of time taking care of the family and taking care of the house while he was gone. And he just wanted to, obviously he wanted to say that none of this happens without my mom, his wife, and he just love you, Mary. Last thing I'll say, just he did wanted to thank for the acknowledgement of his achievements. These are, stand on the shoulders of giants, these guys that have been inducted, and he's incredibly grateful for the recognition, and thank you.
Good job, Richard.